Hey folks, this is again Spectre, Tesla Spectre and the Global Impact Institute on our Green Mobility project. And today I'm together with the manager of the Hoody Hotel here, and who will talk about the green mobility and how they approach it. So let's have a look how they do that. Buongiorno.
Signor Uwe, eine schöne wunderbar guten Tag.
Ah, you even speak German, that's fantastic.
Aber Deutsch ist mein Finito, so my Deutsch.
Oh, that's very good, because most people looking at this channel speak English only.
Yeah.
So could you maybe just introduce yourself and briefly your hotel?
Yes, with pleasure. Gabriele Gaglieni is my name. I'm the general manager of Hoody Active and Happiness Hotel. We are based in Arco. Hoody is really a small property, but it's part of the group of the hotel. The main one is based in Riva del Garda, which is very close by. Has been Hoody inaugurated just before the COVID. Means we had 1 month open and then we have been forced to close again. So means at the very end of 2019. Quite small property, only 41 rooms. It's not really very formal, but mainly for very dynamic people. You have seen Uwe, so simply t-shirt, easy, a little bit fashion and trendy in terms of design, which reflect the Italian design, I would say. Very attentive to the relationship in terms of friendliness
and also pet friendliness,
and
because
pet
I'm here with my
course.
dog, and so are many others. I've seen that. That's great. And so the first thing that I would like to know is basically, you know, we do a project on green mobility a lot in higher education, of course, you know, how people, students and staff, how we should be considerate when we travel, also for conferences and this stuff. And that particularly interests me because so far we still waste too much fossil energies and stuff. And also with the food, we're not very, you know, considerate often. So I just thought I'd talk to those people who probably have to start the trend anyway, because in hotellerie you might see that more. So the first question I would just have for you is, what is for you and for your hotel basically green mobility and sustainable tourism in a nutshell?
Well, Uwe, I would say that definitely is not a color, mainly is a concept. So in terms of behavior and tension we have to put in place while traveling. So it is a way to keep the culture and the heritage of the places. Means pay attention in terms of how we produce and separate our waste. It is all the attention we put in terms of how we keep the wildlife and the culture of the place, mainly instead, from my perspective.
Totally. And why do you think it's important in the first place? You could also say, you know, it's more expensive, for you and for the customer. So why should we bother?
No doubt, Uwe. Definitely, it's a question of survive. So it could not be of any different. In other words, either we pay attention in this behavior, otherwise the human being will be destroyed. I don't think we have a medium long-term alternative.
That's a good point. And maybe you can show a little bit how you promote green mobility, sustainable tourism. Shall we have a look around a little bit?
Of course, yes. So
and you can maybe just tell me on the walk. Okie doke. So we're now on the walk.
Allora, se io vado giù sotto trovo le colonnine delle macchine.
Sì. Vi aprirei dal garage, vi aprirei.
Would you mind, Uwe, if we go upstairs from that way?
No, that's actually good, because you know, they will show us now the garage, which actually, I have to say, it's one of the most fancy things that I've stayed at in that respect. Usually you just have to park somewhere. But this, as you can see, folks, this is the way you enter here through the roundabout, which is basically our own private roundabout here. And then you have a fully protected garage. Usually it's closed even, you know, overnight. And there you see Spectre standing already. Yeah, see, it's there, it opens. And then
the customer has a free access to recharge columns,
yeah.
and this is one of the way we support the customer that are traveling by electric car.
And you see, this is also already where Spectre got his food this night. And it's very simple. You just plug in, and that's it. And then there's, what I had to figure out, folks, was this is the small button to release the cable at the end. And so is the charging included in the room?
Oh, yes. It's free access, and there is no extra charge for the usage of this kind of.
That's nice, because that is not the case in all the places we will go. But also, do I see it right that if we look at the garage as such, you also have the capacity to enlarge this concept if you have more clients?
Yes, definitely, we will.
So how often does it happen that somebody shows up with an electric car in the moment? Is it increasing?
It is definitely increasing. There is no. I'm sure that we will be happy to increase the columns. So far, it's quite all right, but ready to enlarge the number of the columns. But based on the request we have so far, the number is enough.
So yeah, I see it also for tonight. I'm the one using it. I think, folks, also just for a second to understand, I just came down here from Prague, and that's 800 kilometers, and everybody says, oh, you cannot do such a distance with an electric car. That's complete rubbish. It took us exactly as long as it would have taken us with a normal ICE car, simply because we needed to take breaks for our dog. So I would say this is an ideal place to come if you have an electric car. And can you tell me a little bit, what are your, and we can maybe, if you want, we can also
Please, yes.
walk around a bit. What are the, maybe we could have a look at the roof terrace?
Yes, with pleasure. If you don't mind, we can go through the service entrance.
Yeah. So what are your kind of plans and dreams when it comes to, green mobility for the future for the hotel? What would you like to do in the next years?
My dream is in. Shall we go from here?
Yeah.
Well, two main tasks, two main goals, from my perspective. To become a zero plastic hotel, plastic-free hotel, but this is medium long term.
Because I've seen that in the breakfast room, one still has to rely a little bit on these pre-packed things.
Right.
Because it's of course also a question of waste.
It is. And the second one is to reach the autonomy in terms of energy source.
That was something I was wondering. Do you have solar? How much? Do you know how much it produces?
It gives us a great support, which it gives, from my perspective, 20-25% of our needs.
Okay.
But just to start, it's something which is really helpful and has a great impact in terms of green energy, in terms of to keep the environment so as clean as much possible. So become plastic-free hotel
And
have the autonomy in terms of energy, and where we are very attentive and very focused is the process in terms of how we separate the waste. So
Yeah.
an appropriate recycling waste process, which is something has a great, very important impact in terms of having a more clean world. It costs a little bit in terms of timing, but I'm sure that as long as the time is moving ahead, it is part of the game, so that it will not cost any longer, nothing more.
And it's also that, you know, like people I know, we look for hotels who think about these things, and then we are also willing maybe to pay the euro more. And I also saw, I just made a short kind of snapshot of it, that there are these huge collectors for separated waste
It is.
in this really small city, which are like 10 times the size that we normally see, for example, in a big city like Prague.
Mm-mm.
I was quite impressed. So I think maybe for Italy, also with the increasing problem with water,
Definitely.
maybe sustainable tourism is the only solution, no?
Yes, it is, definitely. It is. And again, I think that in any new project, the sustainability, how we get the energy, how we manage the recycling waste process, it is so important as the marketing plan, the revenue budget, so it plays the same role.
That's very good. Maybe the last thing on that, the panels are up here?
Up
or
here.
Maybe, folks, maybe I can even see them. Let's see. I try now something. I will extend and hope that it's long enough. But, so I don't know whether I can see it, folks, so we will just see that later in the cutting. Maybe, let's have a look. Well, we will see later whether it showed or not.
Yes, there are some pictures there.
So, okay, there we are. And
And here our customers can enjoy really a beautiful view, panorama. The jacuzzi over there.
yeah, let's have a look at that one.
And then of course there is the sauna.
Yeah, the sauna, I said yesterday in a joke to my mom when I sent her a small video. I said, yeah, sauna we have outside when it gets to 35 degrees, but you can still sit here. This is, you know, this would be my preferred working spot, actually. Sit here and do all the work. Yeah, maybe I can.
Allora, yes, be careful.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably here you can see better.
Folks, this is totally improvised, but here, this is so much better. Here I can show you. Wait. There you go. There you see it. That looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 panels. That's 15 panels. So probably each panel will be about 200 watt. So that's 3 kilowatt. Yeah. But that will be a challenge, right? I mean, the question will be, where do you want to put all the panels to make it sufficient? That can be a tricky
I am
thing.
not an architect.
Yeah, you're lucky.
But if everybody are complying with their task, with their ability and with their professionalism, they will find a solution.
Yeah, and I think
the thing
also
is that we have, if you know, I don't need to know how to solve the problem. There are experts that are doing it. R&D, research and development. So
you just tell them what they should do.
Exactly.
Exactly. You need to have the strategic decision.
right.
Excellent. Yeah. So, and I think also, you know, with the days of sunshine that you have in Italy, it's much easier to achieve than anywhere else. So, I would say thanks very much. Let's see whether they. Yeah.
Grazie.
Yeah, there we are. Thanks so much. So, folks, that was it. short overview, and I can just say, you know, we're staying here. I cannot show you the room because it's of course a mess when I stay there, but it's a beautiful room and it's really super nice to stay here. And by the way, also those of you who like me have a dog, to close off is this is the place where you can then also go outside with the dog and play to exercise them. So overall, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Ciao. So as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you subscribe, that's of course the best. Take care.